I just want to teach you these things.
Hi, I'm Dr. Anna Marie. We're here at the Orlando Home Show, of course, in Central Florida. And guess who I found? Our kitchen guru, Rick Cacobello from Central Kitchen and Bath. Rick, I'm loving this countertop.
Isn't this cool?
Is this from Gene McDonald or?
This is from Gene.
Right. Awesome.
And he did, we challenged him. My designers challenged him with this top, and he said thanks for the challenge because he had fun doing it.
Well, everybody's coming up here going, it's stone, but it is.
No, it's not. It's as hard as stone. You can hit this with a hammer and it won't break. But this is 100% recycled paper.
I love it.
Okay?
I love it.
Post-consumer paper, which means
this
that
nice
it's
cutaway right here. See this camera guy? Awesome.
It is.
Post-consumer.
Post-consumer, and which means that it's not post-industrial waste. It is consumer waste, recycled paper.
How durable is it?
You can hit this with a hammer and it's not going to break, which just floors me. You hit granite with a hammer, it's cracking, it's breaking, anything like that. And this thing here, Gene showed me, he took a hammer and he whacked it. I didn't believe him, and sure enough,
this might have
there
to
was
kind of go into the tap room, or can't we find something for this at Terraford? But I love this display.
We can take this and put it on the wall because it's truly a piece of art.
It's a piece of art. Now we're not doing. I'm sorry.
The inside of this is curia wood, which is a beautiful product. And if you noticed, it's.
I thought it was bamboo.
It's mostly stalks.
Yeah.
It's stalks, and this is also a very green product. It's they do something to, and of course Gene could talk to you about this better, but people with allergies and whatnot use this product, and then after it's used, then it is recycled to put into these countertops. It's great stuff.
In a sense of formaldehyde, everything is basically 100%. I think
there are no added volatile compounds at all, and the dye that they use for this is 100% organic.
All right, this might have to disappear. I believe you actually reached all my goals too. I wanted a healthy kitchen, I wanted a green kitchen, and I think you did a pretty good job.
The coconut palm is just one of my favorite stories because these are coconut-bearing trees from the farms that used to be burned or put in a landfill, and that was the end of what they did. Now they're taking those trees and turning them into these beautiful products. It can be furniture, cabinetry. There's a whole wide range of product that comes from these trees that used to be destroyed. And that is recycling.
1,800 ale bottles and medicine bottles and apple juice bottles are on this are in this countertop in the center island. And the nice thing about the Vitrazzo is you can walk through. It's a great conversational piece. There are several companies out there that do recycled glass, but I like the big chunks of glass.
And every finish or color of Vitrazzo has a story to it, which is such a neat thing.
Hey, Gene, I found this piece of paper. It looks like the back of a beer bottle. Is that a Corona label?
Yes, not that I'm the expert on beer bottle labels, but yes, that is Corona. That's the O, the Old English type letters they use. And it's not that Vitrazzo doesn't sanitize and scrape off the labels of beer bottles. It's just that some bottles are silk screened.
Green interior artist Gene McDonald worked closely with Rick when it came to fabricating our countertops.
I happen to be a master fabricator of Vitrazzo because I love it. Not that I just sold so many slabs, just that I love working with it. But then when I found out the countertops properties, I really wanted a part of this material. It's concrete based, petroleum free, doesn't off gas, recycled glass, but recycled glass from actually connected to curbside recycling. Now a social aspect of eco-friendly happens too. It's providing jobs. People have to pick up this glass from people's houses. People have to clean it, sanitize it. So it's providing jobs, American-based glass that's actually used. Because a lot of people say, oh, I just throw my glass away. Let me tell you something. There is no away. It needs to go somewhere eventually. So to turn what you might call garbage into beautiful works of art and provide jobs, it's a double winner. Not only does it look good, think how many families were able to have dinner because we purchased Vitrazzo. Just think of that. That's one aspect of it. Now you're in your house, sealed, proper house. You don't want no off-gassing, formaldehyde, various other chemicals that I can't even pronounce.
And even the Eco Glass, the recycled glass tiles on our backsplash wall and center islands are not emitting VOCs into our home's indoor air. To bring this recycled glass to light, we incorporated the latest LED accent lights. It gives people an inspiration. In fact, it is important to recycle. It's a good thing.
That's what I liked, and we helped what you did. We helped the designers, all the designers, builders, and everyone that's here getting the CEU credits. They now know what to say. The demolition glass, a story in every surface. I was listening to them, how they're gonna, because they all got clients.
Yeah.
And the problem is most people go, oh, it's recycled. Why does it cost so much? Think of this. We're providing jobs. The curbside recycling, the grinding of the glass, the sanitizing, the preparation. And then really I always tell people cheap is really expensive in the long run. Because even if you put today's top popular material and you could wear a gas mask around it, you'll bite the bullet. Just think about the long term, 5 years from now. Will it be in style, or are you going to have to change it out again? If you're going to remodel your house, let's think like that. And have a house that's beautiful, not just today, but 5 years from now. Will it still be in style as well as healthy? Let's think about healthy.
And we did coconut palm, we did bamboo, we did the vitrazo. But if you want to learn more of the awesome products, materials that Green Artist Gene is working with.
Shop, introducing the green industry to surface fabricators, fabrication. I did some installation ideas at these same type of events that I once sat up front, soaking up all the experience and knowledge from the teachers at that time. They weren't really teachers, they were just sharing because someone helped them. And that's what I started doing. That's what I'm even doing now. Of course, no one really probably wants to go, let's go hear this guy who ran a business and made mistakes. They all want to hear the ones that are successful. I get it, but I'm just going to try to be different. Shops that want to introduce a new material, though, they need to know what tools to buy, you know, the pros and cons. So I started having contractors and other shops call me like, hey, Gene, I don't want to learn everything you know. I just don't know. I want to introduce concrete so I could start offering to my customers. Because we both know if you're in a surface industry right now, I'm sure you're probably getting calls like, do you do concrete countertops? You're probably getting 3 calls a month that you have to deny, especially to your customers or clients you had for a while. So people are asking me, and I tell them, you know, you can get by with this workbench, just make sure it's level, things like that. I do lunch and learns for designers and tell them about actually the complaints of my industry. Certain things, architects, what can be done, what shouldn't be done. Don't design it and then get mad at us if we can't perform that. It's not our fault. And just I'm trying to help everybody get along, because we need everybody. We need architects, designers, we need buyers, we need everybody. So I'm trying to get us all connected in a nice way in my world, not yours. You probably got everything going good. I'm just here in Tampa Bay trying to, you know, do a little thing with my knowledge to slow down the already sometimes stressful workloads we put on our plates to keep moving. I did one seminar through Zoom back in the day that really inspired me at the New York University. It was so cool to entertain the questions from these college business enthusiasts. I probably should have asked them questions about business though, huh? But they were so interested in how I was turning my raw materials into finished products and actually making money. It's just one of these seminars I truly remember and got a sparkle in my eye. Knowing our industry may be in good hands, I kind of liked it. I kind of liked that they were interested in this and they were thinking how to start a business. I also held workshops at that same International Surface Fabricators Association. At the time it was International Solid Surface, then, you know, got broken down to allow more surfaces into the industry like quartz and granite and everything else. I had the privilege to also speak at the National Association of Home Builders, the NAHB. I spoke at the Florida Green Building Coalition and did local seminars for the U.S. Green Building Council. But the local chapters, you know, for my green industry friends, I actually had the privilege to meet Rick Fedrizzi. He's the founding chair of the United States Green Building Council.
When I met him, I'm sure I was acting like a crazed fan, jumping on stage at a Metallica concert. I was whipping out samples of Vitrazo, Paperstone, my recycled content. Look, it's Avonite. Yes, it's post-industrial, but check it out. Look what I could do with it. I carried my samples around in my pockets. I mean, I guess I learned that from Jersey, where you park at a red light, someone comes up to you, they open up their trench coat, and there's all gold chains and things hanging. Yeah, I was like that with my samples. Everywhere I went, I was promoting products to give me and my fellow fabricators and manufacturers a better shot at the green industry, because I was kind of getting pissed off. It felt like, yo, man, what do you mean our materials ain't good to get into a LEED rating system product? I want to bring attention to these products to get into the LEED rating systems, which is put out by the U.S. Green Building Council. However, I wasn't there when they were making the policy, because I would have made some changes quick to them. Many builders were at these events. Looking back, many of these builders just took my business card so I would shut up. Kind of like, what they did to me when I was singing Christmas carols as a kid. Here, get away from me, I'll take your card. But I did land a minimum of 3 jobs out of 100 cards, because at this point I started checking everything. I'm checking my marketing. Is it worth it? But 3 jobs out of 100, it's a numbers game. Like guys did back in the day at their high school dance. Keep asking girls till one says yes. You just keep asking, but count them. And then if, I guess, the 9th girl says yes, look at it as a focus group. Telling you about, it's a focus group. They're telling you about your game. Either you're good or you're bad, or I don't know. But my plan was to ask 100. And if all 100 said no, then I look at them, because I only brought 100 cards. I would actually count them. And if all 100 said no, not interested, I would also look at them like a focus group and get rid of that sample. Get rid of that procedure. Get rid of that workshop. Get rid of that market. Or ask somebody else, am I going about it wrong? Maybe because I look like a freak in a trench coat with samples taped to the inside of my jacket. Maybe that could be it. But I never thought to ask that. But the 3 jobs were locks. To me, that was good. My overhead was low at the time. That's all I could handle anyway. I'm glad all 100 builders didn't call me. You know why? I probably would have said yes like a dumbass. Yeah, I could do it. I got it. I read somewhere, not sure, but I think Rick now runs like the International Well Building Institute in New York City. That dude is on the roll for the green building industry. But if you ever see him, tell him, yeah, I'm that guy with samples, and I'm hanging in there. I still believe in the green industry. I'm certified in many brands of surface materials, as I also got heavily involved in the green industry. But I really wanted to know how to better apply their procedures to the surface industry. Really, it wasn't my business. I should have been like, you want a countertop or not? If not, leave me alone. But no, I was, for some reason, always trying to get in, not minding my own business. I was trying to get involved. What is a LEED AP anyway? I was trying to get into all that. And I got involved with my local chapters, and I would just listen to everybody. I would listen to gentleman Josh at Creative Contractors, and the way he talked, it wasn't just some government procedural lima bean homework type thing. It started making sense to me. It was just common sense blown up big. By the way, you green building developers, yeah, I'm that guy that showed up at all the grand open ribbon cutting events of your LEED buildings. And when I see you, the developer who obviously wasn't prepared from your PR staff, and you didn't take time to talk to your LEED AP to answer questions that might get asked, you were just really worried about the plaque and the marketing aspect to say, look, I did a green building, now everyone leave me alone. I got you. Once I seen Mr. or Mrs. Peacock step up to the lectern, I had to. I just had to. I put my hand on my face and said, oh, they shouldn't have put him up there. They should have put the LEED AP up there. So I said, let me take a shot. Let me rock the boat a little bit. I just had her. I moved in with the quickness. Mr. Peacock opened up the floodgates for questions, while a guy like me is in the audience. Crazy that he didn't get better informed from his lead AP, other than the green marketing bandwagon. Notice, fabricators, these developers and green builders can achieve basic LEED certification through the LEED rating system and hang the plaque once the envelope of their building is done and sealed. They don't even have to furnish it yet. They can kind of get it done. But then they get a continuing audit later on, and then maybe things might get changed. But this is our time. Once we find out that someone's building a LEED building in your community, in your country, if they are, or something similar, that's the time to have all your samples ready. But don't just say, ain't this pretty? They really might agree with you. Yeah, that's nice, but what's it made out of? Where's it come from? So you have to have that documented, kind of like a business plan for your sample, like a little GPS. You want to know what's the content. Is it post-consumer glass? Is it post-industrial? Is it this? What about the indoor air quality? Even though it's beautiful and 100% recycled, what's the IAQ rating, otherwise known as indoor air quality? You want to know all this, okay? So keep that in mind when you're making your samples. Keep track, write that down. Should green enthusiasts come to your community so you can market to them and have everything ready, all right? It won't hurt you, because even if they don't, like U.S. Green Building Council or a green organization there are people who buy homes who really like the idea of common sense blown up real big. And then you might be able to sell them a job, but they still, too, might not give two hoots that it's recycled. They want to know about the indoor air quality. Get to know about the material, okay? I know you know how to make it pretty, but you got to start learning about what actually is and how it could benefit them or hurt them. And if it hurts them, don't sell it to them. After it's sealed, they can get this plaque, and then they can fill the interiors with basically any furniture they find. There's no green police, and there shouldn't be, even though I sound like I was acting like one, but it's more like the right thing to do. If you're going to be green bragging and peacocking about how green you are, we, the industry, have to push them sometimes to hire us more. Us surface fabricators need to just poke the bear a little bit, and I had to. So I asked Mr. Peacock, Mr. Peacock, I love everything about the building, but I just want to understand about the interior finishes. I'm not a heckler. I might sound like one, but don't you think all those interior materials that look to me like they were shipped from 3 to 4 continents away? What are those surfaces made out of? What is that contact paper glued to particle board? It's not even mica laminate? I'm not complaining, but don't you think the formaldehyde off-gassing will be fighting with the indoor air quality in your sealed-up building? I toned it down a bit and said, I get it. Budgets didn't allow you to purchase materials within 500-mile radius for us here in Florida. And this is where I was with Rick Frigisi when they were planning this policy, because they obviously didn't think about Florida. The rule is, if you're going to use a material, it must be within 500-mile radius, manufactured, things like that, of the project. What if you're doing a project in Florida? Have you guys seen the state of Florida? What were they in the center of the country when some dingbat came up with this idea? What are we in Florida supposed to do? 3/4 of that radius is in either the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic Ocean. 3/4 of it. Want to do a condo on the beach and make it a LEED project? You got a small portion to work with, because we're a long state. Yeah, they weren't thinking about Florida, but we still keep grinding and working it out. It's all about getting better, because they too have to be better, but we have to tell them. We don't have to piss and moan about it. We just got to let them know. It's so obvious when USGB was setting up policy procedures for LEED ratings, they didn't think of the shape and the location of Florida. But I get it. But let's just try to be better. Next time, Mr. Peacock, here's my card. And on your next building, let's just be better. And I shook his hand. And of course, I helped him on his next building be better. It's that simple. Work is everywhere. Let yourself be known. Express yourself. I'm sure you are now starting to see green buildings considering our surface industry materials even more. Not because of me, just because we are getting better at it. Manufacturers are now invested in certification labels so us, the fabricators, don't, when someone asks us that question, what's in it? I don't know. So we don't have to take the liability that if it's not in there, well, this manufacturer said it. They kind of sponsored that. It's like a golden contract, whether it's approved or not. I love it. I love it that they're doing it. You know, everyone liked the idea of the recycled glass, and I really personally don't think it was because it was recycled. It was because it looked good. There are people I know that hate the idea of, like, when you mention global warming or glass or environment or recycled, that they actually think it's garbage. Well, when I had the sample made and said, well, this is recycled glass, I want that in my house. But you might have to push some people in your own community, states, and countries and show this. That's why I always say practice first, making samples, keep them in your truck, your vehicle, have a little different colors so you can show them, because this is something that we do, us as artists and craftsmen and craftswomen and fabricators. They really don't get what we do. If we just say we do countertops, what do you think's popping in their head? Is it what you do that's popping in their head? I doubt it. I bet you they're picturing like some old avocado green from like a countertop, or maybe a simple popular top in the big box stores now. If that's not what you do, we got to change their brains, okay? Everyone can live a greener lifestyle if they want to as well. I think it's better to initiate sales that way, better than spending cash on cheesy magazine ads. So if developer is listening, talk more with your lead AP, will you? After all, you hired them for your firm. Get the best out of them. Developers, listen to your lead AP. You hired them for a reason, okay? I'd rather talk to them and ask them questions. They are not lima beans either. They will be able to explain to you the proper full understanding of why you really wanted to build a green building in our community in the first place, regardless of certification black. I know many developers and contractor firms won't absorb the best out of the lead APs because they too got this. Now back to you. Keep in mind, fabricator, artist, whatever, just because something is recycled, it doesn't mean you won't annoy indoor air quality ratings as well. Green is just common sense blown up big to me. It's a great thing, but fabricators and builders, please understand this should you even get approached by someone wanting to do a LEED project. Just because something is recycled doesn't mean it will automatically qualify. Focus on the indoor air quality properties of the material first. You are choosing to add these to your company, so get to know these. If you're going to sell the samples, don't get egg on your face like that developer did from me. Get to know. Don't just hand people samples and when they say, what is it? Don't say, I don't know. Maybe your first day, but you should never have to say that a second time. Do your homework. Many green designers and architects will already have the material specified in the blueprints. And then if they're green certified labels from the manufacturers requesting, I need IAQ, which is indoor air quality label. If you check your manufacturer, they might have that label. All done. Print out the readout, what the properties are made of, send the spec sheets to the architect, you're covered. Away you go. You may decide to offer green products or these, whatever you decide to make, where you make countertops or tabletops, I don't know, whatever your market you're looking to tap into. This is just something it should crop up. You might want to do it. It might be a multi-dwelling unit for LEED. You don't want to miss out on that job, right? So this might be a little bit, give you a little understanding, but do further research. If you do decide to offer green products to the residential people in your community who some desire healthy indoor air quality in their homes, indoor air quality should come first. Then you can offer post-consumer or post-industrial glass, various other recycles. I've seen metal shavings, things like that. But don't get hung up on the buzzwords that these advertising firms are now using, like natural and recycled. People think because they got something natural or recycled, they're good. No! Recycled formaldehyde is still formaldehyde. Don't get hung up on that word recycled. Just because it's recycled, it still can harm your clients or your customers. Natural mercury, you ever see natural advertised all over the place? Great. But do you know natural mercury will put you on your ass if you drink it? Be careful of these buzzwords, my friend. We are fabricators. We also have to protect ourselves because we're the one that meet the customers. The manufacturers usually don't. We do. We're that bridge in the gap. They make a sheet or a slab or a panel. We fabricate it, and then the customer's not calling them, they're calling us. So get to know these things, all right? Be careful of these buzzwords. Research and learn. Plus, I'm looking out for my fellow fabricators around the world so they too can get a piece of the pie in this exciting green building industry. It's fun and exciting. Doing these seminar workshops for the construction industry, cabinet shops, countertop shops, I just love it. I want to put horsepower in their skill set. If they want it. They probably already got it, so they don't need me. But if you don't, you need me. I need you. Hey, we're friends in the industry. I'm just a friend you haven't met yet. I'm able to see talented, skilled people's eyes light up when they fully understand something different and that they too can now create more cool, exciting ideas, items, tops, surfaces, creations for their customers in their towns or states. I remember. I just love it. I want to put horsepower in their skill set. If they want it. They probably already got it, so they don't need me. But if you don't, you need me. I need you. Hey, we're friends in the industry. I'm just a friend you haven't met yet. I'm able to see talented, skilled people's eyes light up when they fully understand something different and that they too can now create more cool, exciting ideas, items, tops, surfaces, creations for their customers in their towns or states. I remember. I might not pronounce words properly. If that really offends you, how about this? Just go listen to somebody else, dude. I'm just trying to get content out, and I hope you can decipher what it is I'm trying to say to help you, okay? I'm going to do everything I can to help you. Just watch out for thoughtless enthusiasm.